The desert stretched endlessly beneath twin suns, and Maya stumbled through it with cracked lips and burning lungs. Her expedition had gone wrong 3 days ago when the transport crashed. She was the only survivor, and her supplies were nearly gone. That was when she saw him. He lay half buried in red sand, his body twisted at an angle that suggested broken bones. His skin was pale, almost translucent, and his chest barely moved. Maya approached cautiously, her training as a xenobiologist warring with her humanitarian instincts. He looked human mostly. 2 arms, 2 legs, a face that could have belonged to any colonist. But something was off. The proportions were slightly wrong, the fingers too long, the eyes too far apart. She knelt beside him and pressed 2 fingers to his throat. A pulse, faint and irregular, fluttered beneath her touch. "Hey," she said, shaking his shoulder gently. "Can you hear me?" His eyelids cracked open, revealing eyes the color of storm clouds. He tried to speak, but only a rasping sound emerged. Maya unscrewed her flask without thinking. She had maybe 2 days of water left, but she could not watch someone die of thirst. She lifted his head and pressed the flask to his lips. He drank desperately, water spilling down his chin. When the flask was half empty, she pulled it away. "Easy," she said. "That has to last." He stared at her with an expression she could not read. Then his eyes rolled back, and he lost consciousness again. Maya made camp there, unwilling to abandon him. She rigged a solar shade from her emergency blanket and rationed her remaining food. Through the long night, she monitored his vital signs with her medical scanner. The readings made no sense. His body temperature fluctuated wildly. His blood chemistry was completely alien. Yet he was alive, and getting stronger dot by morning. He was sitting up. "Thank you," he said in perfect standard. His voice was deeper than she expected, resonant. "You saved my life. What are you?" Maya asked bluntly. He looked at his hands, flexing the long fingers. "I was Torvin, of the Navigator caste. Now I am not sure. What does that mean? My ship crashed 7 days ago. I have been dying slowly ever since. My biology requires certain elements your world does not have. Without them, we simply fade away." He met her eyes. "Until you gave me your water." Maya frowned. It was just water, recycled from the moisture collectors, but nothing special. "To you, perhaps. To me, it is transformation." He stood, unsteady but improving by the second. "I can feel it changing me. Your water has trace elements, biological signatures that my body is adapting to, incorporating. I will live, but I will no longer be what I was." She watched him carefully. "Is that a bad thing?" He considered this. "I do not know yet." Over the next 2 days, they walked together toward the colonial outpost Maya had been trying to reach. Torvin changed visibly with each passing hour. His skin took on a healthier hue, closer to human tan than alien pallor. His proportions shifted subtly, becoming less uncanny. He grew stronger, faster, more resilient than any human had a right to be. "Your species is remarkable," he said on the second evening as they sheltered behind a rock formation. "Adaptable, stubborn. You survive in conditions that would kill most sentient races." "We have practice," Maya said. "Humanity has been scraping by on hostile worlds for 3 centuries. Yes, I studied your kind before my mission. Phi, some species call you." Maya laughed. "Humanity, forget ya. The polite version, anyway. Your people have a reputation. You do not give up. You do not surrender. When the galaxy expected you to fail, you thrived." He paused. "That is why my people wanted to make contact. We are dying, Maya. Our worlds are failing. Our biology too specialized. We need allies who understand survival. And instead you crashed on a desert planet. Instead, I found you." He looked at her with those strange eyes that were becoming less strange every hour. "And you shared your water, even though it meant less for you. That is very human." On the third day, they reached the outpost. The handful of colonists there reacted to Torvin with suspicion until Maya explained the situation. The outpost leader, a grizzled woman named Commander Reeves, listened with crossed arms. "So let me get this straight," Reeves said. "He is an alien who is turning human because he drank your water." "Not human exactly," Torvin corrected. "Something between. I retain some of my original capabilities, enhanced senses, faster reflexes, but my body now runs on the same basic chemistry as yours. I need oxygen, water, food. I am mortal in ways my people are not." "And what do you want from us?" Reeves asked. "Permission to stay." "To learn." "To help, if I can." Torvin glanced at Maya. "She saved my life. I would like to spend it making sure that kindness was not wasted." Reeves studied him for a long moment, then nodded. "We can use another pair of hands. The desert does not care what you used to be, only what you can do now." Torvin settled into outpost life with surprising ease. His enhanced strength and senses made him invaluable for the dangerous work of desert survival. He could spot sandstorms hours before they hit, could track water deposits through solid rock, could work through the scorching heat that sent humans scrambling for shade. But he also retained knowledge his people had accumulated over millennia. He taught the colonists new techniques for water conservation, for energy efficiency, for sustainable farming in impossible conditions. The outpost thrived under his contributions. Maya watched him change, not just physically but fundamentally. The distant, formal navigator became someone who laughed at jokes, who helped children with their homework, who sat up late debating philosophy with the other colonists. He was becoming part of the community. "Do you regret it?" she asked him one night as they stood watch on the outpost walls. "Losing what you were?" Torvin was quiet for a long time. "I remember being Torvin," he said finally. "I remember my ship, my mission, my people. But that person is gone. The water you gave me did not just change my body. It changed my purpose." "What do you mean?" "My people sent me to study humanity from a distance, to assess whether your species was worthy of contact, of alliance. But I can no longer be objective. I have drunk from your well. I have tasted your kindness. I have lived among you." He turned to her, his face now almost entirely human, save for those haunting eyes. "I am no longer an observer. I am part of what I came to study. And your people? If they come, I will tell them the truth. That humanity is messy, chaotic, often foolish. But you are also brave, generous, and incredibly resilient. You gave water to a dying stranger in a desert when you had barely enough for yourself. That is the measure of your species." Maya smiled. "You make us sound better than we are." "No, I make you sound exactly as you are. Flawed, yes, but capable of extraordinary kindness. That is why you will survive when others fail. Not because you are the strongest or the smartest, but because you help each other, even when it costs you." Months passed. Torvin thrived. His transformation stabilized, leaving him something unique in the galaxy, a bridge between two species. When his people finally made contact, sending a rescue ship to investigate his disappearance, he told them everything. The navigators listened to his report with grave attention. Then their leader spoke. "You have become contaminated," the leader said. "You are no longer one of us." "No," Torvin agreed. "I am no longer one of you. But I am alive, and I am useful. I can help build an alliance between our peoples, if you will allow it." The navigators conferred. Finally, the leader spoke again. "Very well. You will be our ambassador to humanity. But understand, you can never return to what you were. I understand, Torvin said, and I accept. When the navigator ship departed, Maya found him standing at the edge of the outpost, staring at the stars. Any regrets? She asked. He shook his head. You gave me water when I was dying. That simple act of kindness changed everything. I lost my old life, yes, but I gained something far more valuable. What? A future. A purpose. A home. He looked at her and smiled, an expression that was entirely human. Your people have a saying, home is where the heart is. I think I finally understand what that means. Maya stood beside him, watching the stars wheel overhead. Somewhere out there, the galaxy turned on, full of species that had forgotten how to adapt, how to survive, how to be kind to strangers in the desert. But here, on this dusty outpost on a hostile world, humanity did what it had always done. It endured. It helped. It offered water to the dying, not knowing that such a simple gesture could change the course of history. And in that moment, Maya understood what HFY truly meant. Not that humanity was perfect or invincible, but that they tried. They stumbled forward, making mistakes and learning from them, offering kindness in the darkness, sharing water in the desert. That was enough. That would always be enough.